Welcome to the Real Estate Show, brought to you by Capital One Group, LLC. Eric Wilner, president of Capital One Group, LLC, is a highly trained financial professional. He helps clients to develop strategies for effectively utilizing real estate, mortgages, and related financial products to achieve a more secure financial future. For the real estate investor or the home buyer, he's able to provide expertise in matching the right properties and financing with your specific financial objectives. This show is dedicated to helping you find the safe and simple approach to buying income-producing real estate. If you have any questions about the program or to arrange a consultation, call toll-free 888-595-7779. That's 888-595-7779. Now, today's edition of The Real Estate Show.
And hello, South Florida. Welcome to another edition of the Real Estate Show, South Florida's #1 program and South Florida's longest running daily radio show all about real estate. My name is Eric Wilner and I'm your host, and we're here live Monday through Friday, each and every weekday morning from 8 until 8:30. We're here on AM 740. We're also locally on 96.9 FM, but you can take us anywhere you want as long as you have the app. Starting out with the WSBR app. So if you just look it up in your iTunes store or the Play, I think that's called Play, what it is on the Android system. But you can download the WSBR app and listen to this radio station all day long, but in particularly our show here at 8 o'clock each morning. And you can also listen to us on TuneIn, an app that actually has an alarm that will also remind you that our program is on, and then you can listen to us. So we got a great program for you today. I want to talk to you a little bit about the old adage in real estate called location, location, location. And so we'll talk a little bit about that, or maybe we'll talk a lot about that. It's a very important fact and issue in the real estate business. And I think that the difference between success and failure in many cases is that having the right knowledge and information and choosing the location that you invest can make a monumental difference over time. So I want to talk about today some of the ways where you can scientifically choose the right location so that your investing does result in good returns, positive cash flow, and a good return on investment, or ROI, if you will. But before I start, I want to also thank our main sponsor, Capital One Group, which is your best source for all of your real estate property management and support services. We invite you to give us a call right here at 888-595-7779. That's 888-595-7779. You know, we put together a true state-of-the-art, very easy-to-use resource on our website at automaticlandlord.com, and we're in the process of making changes all the time. And in fact, I think we've made some great improvements over the last 6 months, and we now have planned some more great changes. We've also added, of course, our Facebook page, and I'm going to make a shameless request for you to go on there at The Real Estate Show on Facebook, and then press the like that you like the station, and certainly make any comments that you like. It's a great place and another way for you to interact with us. You'll be seeing more pictures and videos of some of the things that we're doing. I'm in fact getting ready to get on a plane this afternoon, heading up to the New Hampshire area. Check out that real estate market and work with some investors out there getting a real estate business started. So, you know, we do this quite frequently. We've been now in a couple of places that are very interesting: Chicago, Los Angeles, Southern California, and Orange County, heading up to New Hampshire now. And what we're able to do, and we're able to help you as well, what we're able to do is kind of parachute into just about any market and taking information that's readily available both on the internet and through some special software programs. And then by organizing that information and looking at it, it's sort of our way of taking an X-ray of the market, and we know where the activity is, where the most affordable properties are, where the rates of return are the best in terms of relationships from rents to property prices, and we can even find out where the inventory is through a couple of different sources. Of course, the MLS is only one of them, but there's more of those. In fact, we also have what we call our property Geiger counter, which we used in order to be able to find properties and locate where are the vacant houses, where are the properties most likely to be for sale. You've heard me say over and over, and we talk about this, and it's interesting that relationship, the percentage of the properties that could be for sale versus the properties that are for sale out in the open and on the MLS, it's only about 2.5% of the potential properties. That's right, less than 3% of the properties of the entire market is even listed on the MLS, which means the rest are for sale by owners. The rest are people who are hiding their heads in the sand and waiting for that critical last-minute moment to be able to put their properties on the market for sale or be forced to sell it either on the courthouse steps or through some other form of distressed sale. So it's really important to have these kind of tools and these kind of methods and, as I often say, these kind of systems. So I'm going to get into that in great detail right after the break. What we're going to do is we're going to take a quick break, hear a few words from our sponsors. After all, you are listening to The Real Estate Show. My name is Eric Wilner. Don't touch that dial because I'll be right back.
Today's real estate market is full of questions. Eric Wilner and Capital One Group LLC have the answers. Call today for a no-obligation consultation and get the facts. 888-595-7779. That's 888-595-7779. You'll learn the safe and simple approach to buying income-producing real estate. And you'll find out how to get the right real estate investments for your specific investment objectives. Plus, you'll have immediate access to cutting-edge mortgage and financing products. Be sure to ask about free property management on select investment properties. Call today for your no-obligation consultation and get the facts. 888-595-7779. Toll free, 888-595-7779.
I said, damn, there's traffic jam. Well, there you are, sitting in traffic like thousands of other motorists listening to Eric Wilner's Real Estate Show. Here's a thought. If you're listening, so are potential customers and clients. Radio advertising works. So become an advertiser or sponsor guest on Eric's show. Get your message heard. Call 1-888-595-7779. That's 1-888-595-7779. Your customers and clients are waiting to hear from you. Said, damn, there's traffic jam. Call 1-888-595-7779.
Hello, listeners. This is Eric Wilner, your host of The Real Estate Show. Exciting news. We now have a Facebook page. Now, this is an opportunity for us to share with you photos and videos and interviews and lots more information on a regular basis on our Facebook page. But to make it really exciting, we want your input. We want your comments, and most of all, we want your likes. And that will make us a much better radio show, and our Facebook page will be a real resource for you. So check us out at facebook.com/The Real Estate Show. That's facebook.com/The Real Estate Show. And give us a thumbs up.
Hi, my name is Gary Lanham. I'm the group leader of the Gary Lanham Group at Caldwell Banker, Fort Lauderdale Beach office, and I'm listening to the Real Estate Show in Fort Lauderdale.
This is The Real Estate Show, brought to you by Capital One Group LLC in Boca Raton, with your host, Eric Wilner. If you have any questions about the broadcast, call toll-free, 888-595-7779. That's 888-595-7779. Now, back to today's show.
And welcome back. For those of you who might just be joining us, you are listening to The Real Estate Show, America's longest daily show all about real estate, heard on a live brick-and-mortar radio station here at 96.9 FM, also on 740 AM, and then, of course, through iTunes, through iHeartRadio, the WSBR, and of course, if all else fails, just go to our website at automaticlandlord.com and click the Listen Live tab. That's automaticlandlord.com. You know, here's the thing. In all our research that we were doing, we're looking at the consumer sentiment right now, and the stock market is probably one of the most uncertain places to be right now, and there's a lot of anxiety around it. You've got because of all the sensationalism, you've got people predicting the stock market's going to crash. You got other people predicting that it's not going to crash. And in the end, you really have no control whatsoever, not only because of size and your ability to influence the market, but in essence, when you buy stocks, you're giving away your money, you're losing control, and you're at the mercy of either the stock, the stock executives, the people who run the company, or if you do it in the form of a fund, and now you're at the mercy of the funds and their expenses and crazy ways of how they account for everything. On the other hand, if you were to own real estate and own rental properties yourself, you are the one who makes the decisions when to buy, when to sell, how much to take, how much expenses, whether you want to operate lavishly or operate very frugally. So that makes a big difference. So a lot of people are very upset with the last few years. I'm talking about the last 10 years, the lost decade, if you will, when it comes to that. Now, if you had residential income, even if the properties didn't value different from 10 years ago, but were earning a positive cash flow, you're in a great position. In fact, you're in an even better position now because the properties are poised to continue to rise. We had another month of statistics and rise. I'm going to save that for a different show. But people now are looking, and the wise investors are looking at taking more responsibility personally for their investments, and they need to understand that. They need to do that, and where they don't have the expertise, it's readily available. Here you have this show publicly for free, available to help you with your real estate investing on a daily basis. But if you want to get more in depth and more customized, then give us a call. Give me a call at 888-595-7779. I'd be happy to have a quick consultation to see if it's a good match, if it's a good fit, and if the timing is right. Otherwise, we can still remain friends, remain in contact. You can still continue to listen to the show and derive lots of golden nuggets each and every day. But we may choose not to work together. Now, the main thing here is that investors are looking at not repeating the next 10 years. And there's always room to learn something new. We're always here to give you something new because we're always on the cutting edge of what's going on. One of the most interesting things, and something that I've been doing with a lot of my private clients, is this process of going through and sort of x-raying the market. And I'll give you an idea about what we do because this whole concept of investing right the first time, and one of the reasons why we are America's longest running radio program, over 17 years now here on the air, of which we went through probably the second worst economy in American history, and yet still came out healthy and able to continue to provide this radio program, is because of methods, conservative, the simple and safe approach to buying real estate. And we do that because we make educated bets on the marketplace, and we make very conservative bets on the marketplace. And we have certain rules, certain processes, and as I mentioned right before the break, certain systems. Now, one of the things we do is, of course, we look at things because a lot of the data out there in the marketplace, we look at them in terms of zip codes. And zip codes are good because, of course, when it comes to marketing to a zip code, everybody has that information by zip code. So it makes a lot of sense. So what we'll do is we'll set up a list of properties, or I'm sorry, a list of zip codes that we will be looking at in a certain area. And sometimes we start out practically by throwing a dart at the map, because if we don't know the area, but generally speaking, we'll start out. Maybe there's a reason, maybe proximity to an investor, maybe proximity to a college, to jobs or something of that nature. But what we'll do is we'll kind of take that and then draw a radius, and then take the 5, 10, 15 zip codes that surround that area, and Then what we'll do, the first thing we're going to do is going to see, well, how many people are in that zip code. It's a very natural and easy conclusion to make that where there's no population, there's no activity or hardly any activity. Where there's a greater population, there's greater activity. And we're looking for numbers somewhere in the 15 to 20,000 population range as being ideal, as providing a good source and a stable marketplace for you to invest in. We take a look at median age and things like that just to make sure that we're not too far swayed one way or the other. But then what we look at things like median house price. And we look per zip code, what is the median house price? Now, there's a couple of reasons why that's important. First of all, loan limits. Ultimately, if we're a real estate investor and we're going to be using financing, there's certain loan limits on what's considered a regular conventional mortgage as opposed to a jumbo mortgage. The other reason is we also take a look at the median income in that area. And there is a certain percentage, there's a sweet spot when the median income and the relationship to the median home price is in that sweet spot, it's a green light to invest in there. When that proportion is not there, it's a big red light, because then we know that either we're looking at a war zone or we're looking, which means that the houses are very cheap. But on the other hand, the type of tenants, the type of properties, the type of environment that you're in is not so desirable. On the other side of that sweet spot are properties that are just simply too expensive. The area has become so desirable that the people who live in the area are now being crowded out. And you've seen that in areas. One great example is just north of us in Delray. There used to be an area where there was a lot of low-income homes, and today that area has now been redeveloped. It's been basically all the residents that used to live there got pushed out, crowded out, priced out, and as a result, it's a great area to live in, but not so great of an area to invest in now because the appreciation is already there, number one. Number two, when you go to try to rent the properties in there, there just isn't the income locally for people who are in the support functions that would make that make sense. So that little relationship there and being able to get to the source of that information that's current is key. The next thing we do look at is what are the rents in the area, because again, the rents compared to the price of the house also has a sweet spot. And what we have found is that if you don't have a 1% relationship the rent has to be at least 1% of the price of the property to buy. If it's less than that, the property will never cash flow. And rule number one in investing in income producing property is that it must cash flow right away. And if not right away, there has to be a reason and a solid plan that is predictable, time-wise, budget-wise, and so forth, that you can turn that into a positive cash flow property. So that the median rent is a very important relationship to the median home price. Now, the next thing that we look at is the number of houses for sale. And we look at two types of houses. And one of them, you're going to readily be able to contact a realtor and find out, say, hey, in this zip code, how many properties are for sale? That's easy enough. Unfortunately, Realtor.com doesn't allow you to break it out that easy or make it so easy. So you do have to contact someone like ourselves, someone who's licensed, who has access to the MLS, to be able to find that statistic out. But there's an even more interesting statistic, and that is to find out how many empty houses are there, how many vacant houses are there within that zip code. And if you have the ability to do that, now you've got, like I said before, the Geiger counter that uncovers hidden gems in the marketplace, properties that are not on the MLS, but that are in a state of wanting to be sold. Because as you know, even though the house may be empty, that means that there's no income coming in for an absentee owner. It also means that the property taxes are still due, the insurance still needs to be done, someone has to be keeping up the property, mowing the lawn and doing all those other things, and keeping out the 3 V's, the vermin, the varmint, the vandals, and of course anybody else that might be interested in the copper piping, the air conditioning, and that kind of thing. So having that x-ray into the marketplace is really critical and a huge benefit, and something that we do have access to, and our clients get the benefit of that access to that information. In fact, all the information that I talked about is presented on a grid, on a report that we do, in order to determine and help our investors determine what's the right place to invest. Then we talk about the number of buyers on the other side. So on the one hand, what we do is we have a great way to x-ray into a marketplace and figure out what the inventory situation is. There's no point in opening up a store and having no inventory, right? Well, the same thing is that if you're going to get into this as a real estate business, then you have to know where the inventory is, what the inventory is, and what kind of inventory you have. Now, on the other side, there's no sense in opening up a store with goods that nobody wants or nobody can buy. And that's where we do that same analysis with different metrics, but we try to find out, how many cash buyers are there in that zip code? How many regular or retail buyers are in that? How many transactions occurred in that zip code? And then we also look at how many buyers bought more than one property in that zip code. Wouldn't that be nice to know if you could figure that out? And of course, we do have the research and the data to do that as well. So I wanted to give you a really good picture of how you can literally parachute into any marketplace, but having the right data and the statistics, you can know whether it is a fertile and positive area to invest in, or whether it's one that you should just stay out in, because no matter what kind of marketing you do, no matter what kind of research and how many phone calls, how many letters you send out, there just isn't going to be the activity in that marketplace, and certainly not activity that would work as an investment. So if you want to get more information about that, if you'd like to talk about how to start your real estate investing career, give me a call at 888-595-7779. That's 888-595-7779. Until tomorrow, drive safe and make it a great day.
Thanks for listening to The Real Estate Show, brought to you by Capital One Group LLC in Boca Raton. Eric Wilner and Capital One Group LLC are available to assist you with your financial needs. If you have any questions about today's program or to arrange a consultation, call toll-free at 888-595-7779. That's 888-595-7779. And join us every day at the same time right here on AM 740 WSBR, South Florida's Money Talk Radio. The opinions expressed on this sponsored program are strictly those of its host, guests, and callers, and are not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors.